What is going on, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. Today we are back with another test on Amazon's cheapest body armor. Now, we've done a couple videos recently with these super cheap body armor panels, and after the last one, I actually had one left over that we didn't even shoot, and I have absolutely no use for this thing. So today we're gonna destroy it. So if you didn't see the last video, this is a level 3A body armor panel that I found on Amazon for about 40 bucks. And in the last video, we did the standard, work our way up through different calibers to see what all it could stop. It actually did pretty well for a cheap body armor panel off Amazon like this. However, today we are stepping it up and we're gonna see how many consecutive bullet impacts one of these cheap body armor plates can handle. You might notice this is a hard 3A body armor plate, which is kind of unusual. Most 3A armor is soft and flexible, and one benefit soft armor has is its ability to take multiple impacts. High quality soft 3A armor can take like dozens of rounds before anything will sneak through. This is not high quality, so let's see if we can torture it to failure. All right, so this is how we're gonna set up this test. Obviously, one issue I might run into is that body armor does fall over when you shoot it a bunch of times, so I'm hoping this will keep it up. I have it clamped to a big 2x6 piece of wood, and then that is leaning up against a cinder block. It also kind of made a little V shape down there, so hopefully it stays upright and we can mag dump this thing. And one flaw with the typical body armor test that you see is people usually will shoot one round from a certain caliber into the body armor, look at the result, and then move up to the next caliber and repeat that process over and over again. Obviously, in real life, especially with handguns, you are much more likely to have multiple rounds coming your way if you're being shot at. So let's see how this $40 Amazon plate handles that. Okay, we're gonna use the 9mm for this test. This is my Gen 5 Glock 19. I think 9mm is a good caliber for this. It's not too small, but it's not extremely powerful either. It's also probably the most common handgun caliber that you see in the real world. So we're gonna just blow through this as quick as we can. It's gonna be like a body armor burn down video. We've got our first 10 rounds. We'll do it 10 at a time and see how far we get. Here we go. Well, that was perfect. It fell off the table after our 10th round and our slide locked back, so let's go check it out. And there's the front of our Amazon body armor plate. You can see all those bullet impacts. We basically just covered the entire thing. One thing I did notice when I was editing the last video that I didn't really notice when I was filming is because of the way this plate is designed, it tends to eject bullet fragments out the side of the armor. You can see all that fabric getting pulled out of the left side. Those are very clearly exit holes, and none of our bullets even hit over there. So kind of interesting. If we flip it around, we have no exit holes on the back and really no damage. It looks like there's a tiny little bulge right in the middle, but other than that, it's perfect. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love the fact that it throws fragments out the side of the plate like that. It's kind of unusual, but I guess I would rather them exit out the side than out the back and into my body. So let's keep going. 10 more rounds. Fell over. There's definitely a lot of damage on the front and a little more damage on the sides. Let's go check it out. All right, here's the plate after 20 rounds. Tons of damage on the front. I think a lot of this damage is from bullets bouncing off the plate and then exiting back out the front where they went in, because there's a lot more than 20 holes on that thing. We also have a lot more damage on the sides as well, where fragments are definitely coming out of this thing. If we flip it over, pretty good bulge on the back, like a big hump right there in the middle, but clearly we have no pass-throughs. And we got 10 more rounds. After shooting these first couple magazines, I think what's probably gonna happen is we'll eventually separate the front and back layers. I think that's gonna happen before we get a clean pass-through, but I could be wrong. If I remember correctly, there is like a layer of metal inside this body armor plate, so 9mm might not get through it. Let's try 10 more. It's turning our table into a debris field. I've never seen messier body armor in my life. 10 more. Well, you can clearly see where I was putting all of those rounds. I'm trying to keep them in like a small concentrated area, and they all hit pretty much dead center in like a 1-inch group. However, if I zoom out, look at the collateral damage all around this body armor plate and the mess that it's making on the table. So this looks like a ton of bullet fragments. It is. Well, that's pretty cool. We've got like, I don't know, 5 to 10 rounds just laying right there on the table in front of the body armor plate. So obviously they're bouncing off and coming out the front as well. That's crazy. If we flip it over, our bulge has grown, but still not much damage on the back. So that is 30 rounds, and I think at this point we've exceeded the number of shots you're probably gonna see in a real life scenario. If you're getting hit more than 30 times in the same body armor plate, then you need to work on your movement. Okay, I went ahead and loaded this magazine all the way. Let's see if we can get through 15 rounds without our body armor falling over. I doubt it, but we'll give it a shot. Dude, I'm getting pelted with bullet fragments. If you're wearing this body armor, you don't even need to carry a gun because it'll just throw the bullets right back at the shooter. Good God. And the front layer of fabric is rapidly coming off of this thing, which is probably why we're getting more ricochets, and there's nothing there to catch the bullet fragments. And you can see on the inside, it is just straight metal inside of there. That's the dent that we've put in the front. If we flip it around, no pass-throughs. Our bulge is growing pretty slowly, if I'm being honest. I still think it'll stop quite a few more rounds, but it is starting to deform a little bit. I might move back a little bit for these next few shots because I was definitely catching fragments. Okay, I stepped back a little bit. I also put a piece of concrete down at the bottom to hopefully keep it upright so we can get through the entire magazine. 15 more rounds. This will put us at 60 if we get through all these. So here we go. Dude, I am watching bullets fly back this way at high velocities. Kind of scary. Went ahead and straightened it up a little bit. Let's shoot 15 more. This will put us at 75 rounds. I hit the cinder block on that one. I'm sure it ricocheted up into the plate either way. That's 75 rounds, and I think it's still standing. Let's go check it out. I don't know about you guys, I have never tested body armor that made a mess like this. Hard body armor plates, like rifle plates, definitely send out some debris because they got that ceramic, tiles and stuff in there. But nothing like this. This looks like my dog got a hold of this thing, so. All right, we did have one hit the cinder block a little bit low. I assume it probably ricocheted up into the plate. Holy crap, this thing is hot. This body armor plate is actually warm from all the bullet impacts it's been taken. So you can see there's not much left of the fabric, and we might have a pass-through. So that's definitely a crack in the metal. And it looks like, yep. All right, we have officially defeated our Amazon body armor. So there's the exit hole right there, and you can see our piece of wood that was behind it did not survive. He's definitely got some lead in him. Not too deep in there, but that's definitely enough to call this a body armor failure. So now I don't know exactly which round caused the failure. It looks like we probably had a couple get through because there is, you know, 2 or 3 pieces of lead in that piece of wood. I know after 60 it was perfectly fine because I came up here and readjusted it so we could keep shooting and there was no hole. But at 75, we have definitely got a failure. And once again, there's the piece of wood that was behind our body armor. So we'll go ahead and say 75 just to give us a good number to end on. That is how many 9mm it took to defeat our $40 3A Amazon body armor plate. And that's actually a little better than I thought it would do. I think the metal was a bigger factor than I expected. It put up a pretty good fight. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I want to do one more test so we can see how impressive that Amazon armor actually was. On Ballistic Bob, I have a soft 3A body armor vest. This is a Safe Life vest we tested several months ago. Now, to be fair, this is not their best 3A armor. This is like their most minimalist rig they offer. It's probably not going to give you the same protection as the really good stuff, but it is level 3A and it is soft body armor. Yes, Ballistic Bob really needs a shower. He's been out here for like a year at this point. He's not looking good. Now, obviously we did shoot this in a previous video. I flipped it around to the back. I think there was only like 3 or 4 bullet holes on it. So we're basically starting from scratch, but I want to see if soft body armor handles multiple impacts better than our hard $40 Amazon plate. 75 rounds is going to be kind of tough to beat. First magazine, it is kind of nice to not have to worry about ricochets, I'll say that. 15 rounds, let's do it. Man, that would be a really bad day if you were wearing body armor and took that many rounds. Let's see if he survived it. And you can see all those bullet impacts right there towards the middle. These bigger ones were already there from our previous video. So like I said, I think there was 3 or 4 that we already hit him with. We flip it up. It does not look like anything came through. So you can see the back of the armor right there. And there goes the other half of our vest. Definitely tearing the sticker on the back, a little bit of deformation, but there are no exit holes. And just so you know I'm telling the truth, you can see on the back of that vest, there are no exit holes. And one thing to keep in mind is although the soft armor does look a little bit worse on the person wearing it, it's actually designed to absorb that bullet impact. I think the hard Amazon plate would probably be a nightmare if you were actually wearing it, especially since it's metal. Magazine number 2. All right, there's our second magazine. Pretty good group, I gotta say. Putting all of those rounds pretty much in the exact same spot. We flip it up. I still don't think anything has come through. So it's very hot. And again, all those rounds were in the exact same spot, but there are no exit holes in the back of this soft armor. All right, 30 rounds down. Let's see if we can get to 45. This is kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Basically just making our entrance hole bigger. They're all literally going in the exact same spot. I even see some hot bullet fragments hanging out the front. That's a pretty good sign. It means they probably didn't go through the back. And I don't know, we're doing some damage, that's for sure. The Kevlar fibers are starting to split apart. Dude, that's so hot. Holy crap. Yeah, that's kind of tough to tell. Obviously the entire back of this thing is just blown out entirely because we've been shooting it so much, but it's not definitive. I don't see like an exit hole blown through. It looks like maybe a fragment might have snuck through there. I don't know. None of those look like definitive exit holes to me. We've definitely got some good bruises, but I might keep going. 15 more, this will put us at 60 rounds total. If we get through 2 more magazines, we'll tie the Amazon plate. I think something's gonna go through before that. Let's see. And once again, same entrance holes. That has not really changed very much. I don't think anything has gone through. So after the last one, I thought that one of those dark spots was an exit hole. But after looking at this, it appears that it's just splitting the Kevlar fibers. So you can see what it looks like up there when it's undamaged, and then down here, we're basically just tearing these things apart. Yeah, no exit holes on the back either. This will be the magazine that ties the ball game. We're at 60 rounds now. If we get through this, we'll be at 75. Actually, the Amazon plate probably failed at like 70 to 72. So if we get through this, we have a clear winner. Let's go. 75 rounds, let's take a look. At this point, it looks like the bullets are just piling on top of each other. I think we have bullets stopping bullets. It's not even getting to the back of the Kevlar anymore, which is kind of a good thing. Dude, that Kevlar fabric is just demolished. I don't know, man. I think stuff is probably getting through at this point. And if you look at that, we do have some Kevlar that got pulled into Ballistic Bob. That's usually a sign that stuff's going through. Yep. Okay, that's a clear exit hole on the back of Ballistic Bob that was not there a minute ago. And that's our bullet. Dude, that's a 9mm round that stopped before it passed through Ballistic Bob. Check it out. It is hot as hell. But that is a 9mm bullet that went through the soft body armor vest and stopped before it went all the way through Ballistic Bob. So that tells you it didn't have a ton of velocity left on it after it went through the armor, but definitely enough to be fatal. Okay, so based off the one exit hole that we had on the back of Ballistic Bob, it looks like we dang near got a perfect tie between these two body armor plates. And we might have had a couple others go through the soft armor that I didn't see, but if they did, they didn't have enough velocity on them to even make it out the back of Ballistic Bob. And he's just hollow rubber, basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a tie. We got 75 rounds through each body armor plate, and we did have pass-throughs after 75 rounds. So between 70 and 75 looks like it's about what you should expect with 3A armor, whether it's hard or soft, because that's what we got with both of these plates. So kind of interesting. All right, guys, that's the results. I hope y'all enjoyed the video on the $40 hard level 3A body armor plate from Amazon. All things considered, I think it actually did pretty dang well, especially when you compare it to, you know, a soft body armor panel that's quite a bit more expensive. Still wouldn't be my first choice. Hard body armor just freaks me out, and this one being metal is definitely not something that I would want to wear on my body. But if you're on a budget trying to save money, as we saw, I think this plate would absolutely save your life. It just might deflect fragments out the sides and hit the people that you're hanging out with, but who cares about them, right? If I can find this plate on Amazon, I will try to link it down below if some of you are interested. Again, wouldn't be my first recommendation, but I don't think it's a terrible product either. It definitely does stop bullets. So hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. As always, hit that like button for me, guys. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.